Welcome to the Soul Gym. I'm Crystal.
I'm Jody.
Hey, we are your inner strength coaches. We are here to help you train your mind so that you can transform your life. And we're talking any area of your life. You want to transform your relationships, you want to transform your money, your level of success. Well, you have come to the right place. So today we are talking about goals and vision and just we love talking about that stuff. So look at your vision board or your goals. Have you accomplished them? Are you just marking things off like crazy, or are you looking at it going, oh my word, nothing? In 2021 I accomplished little to nothing. Well, if that is the case, man, it is time to go after those dreams, go after those goals. But we are here to tell you, you're going to have to overcome something. You're going to have to overcome life's inertia. And so, again, this is the place to do it. Welcome to the Soul Gym. Hey, so what is inertia? What happens when life just creates this inertia? When we create this inertia, inertia is that state of almost nothingness, just being at rest, nothing happening. We've been talking about the mental treadmill, where at least you're doing something, you're kind of on that same wheel, but kind of inertia is you're just stuck. You feel like nothing is happening in your life. Like we said, you look at your goals and you're going, none of them have been checked off. And so we can live in this inertia unless something comes that, and the definition talks about unless some kind of force acts upon our life. And we're going to talk about that. But here's some of the signs that your life is stuck in inertia. Is that you are stuck in the past. I mean, I think, hey, it's kind of fun to reminisce the past, but are you stuck in the past? Always talking about the good old days. Jody and I love to reminisce. We grew up in the same family. We were, a part of the same organization. It's hard sometimes not to talk about the past, but are you just stuck there? Is life, I mean, you're just the good old days, or you're filled with regret about what you haven't done. A sure sign of inertia. Jody, you were talking about the past and the box of goodies.
Yeah,
That's
I,
like,
I,
oh.
I got to be real careful because I know when I go out in my garage and I start digging through, notes that my friends and I wrote to each other in sixth grade, you would start reading those going, oh, wasn't that fun? I know something's trying to drag me back. And again, we love to reminisce. We love to look at old pictures. That's fine.
Yeah.
But we've got to watch doing that too much.
Right.
Are we looking for that old feeling? Are we
Right.
looking for that old comfort? Are we looking for those, what made us feel good back then, rather than going, I'm looking toward my future to feel good. I'm looking towards future relationships to get the thrill that I need. So be careful, going back into old boxes, especially, what I find dangerous is when those people were really bad for you, and you've got people that you went down some dark roads with, and you start reminiscing about that. It could be your enemy trying to drag you back to places that you've been delivered from. So the past, again, go back a little bit, but I love what my pastor said Sunday. He said, there's a reason why our rear view mirror is this big and our windshield is this big. Our future should be that big. Our past right here.
Yeah. And again, you brought it up. I mean, people stuck with the wrong people. And like you were saying, I mean, hey, if you're still hanging around with your seventh grade friends and they're taking you forward and good things are happening, great. But if you're stuck with your seventh grade friends and you're 55 years old and it's negative, there's a sure sign that you there could be some inertia just going nowhere fast. We also talk about people in the past and how they intersect with, are you filled with a lot of unforgiveness? Grudges can definitely hold us in the past. And so these are some of the signs. I mean, we talk about people all the time. What's the quote we quote all the time? You are the five people you hang around the most, or that are the most influential in your life. So look at it. Who are those people? Are they pushing you forward? I mean, are exciting things happening, or do you feel there is kind of a stranglehold on your life? We talked about comfort last week. Comfort, we love comfort, but man, nothing will keep you stuck like comfort. And
Mhm.
so, Jody, you kind of brought it up. Being stuck in the past. Okay, let's ask our audience right now. One of the sure signs is there's no vision. When you ask someone, what is the vision for your life? Do you have it written down? Can you tell me about it? And they just kind of look like this. I'm,
Mhm.
I'm telling you, a perfect sign of inertia in your life. We got to have vision. We talk about
Mhm.
vision, and we're going to continue to talk about vision. But that's where it's at, is to have a vision for your life. What do you
Yeah,
think?
and when you align yourself with people, I think a test is when you get with certain people, are they talking more about what's happened to them, how they grew up? And again, that's a part of getting to know people, but you want people who are talking about where they're going,
Yeah.
what they're going to do, what they're going to accomplish, rather than, this is what I was doing back in 1977. This is who I was, back on my high school football team.
Right.
This is, I had a best friend named Jimmy, and we used to do this together.
Jimmy!
Again, I'm not Jimmy, Jimmy. I'm not saying those things are bad, but if that's all people are talking about, again, you've got to be around people who go, I can't wait for this to happen. I am so looking forward to this happening. This is what I'm planning on happening in my life. Hook up with those type of people.
Yeah,
Be
yes,
friends
yes.
with those people.
Absolutely. If people are just takers in your life, and we talk about, those kinds of people that you're with them and you just feel like your left arm went with them. That just part of you leaves every time they leave, as opposed to those people who just deposit good things into you. If you've got people around you who are untrustworthy, who just we also talk about, even in our book, we talk about hanging around with the wrong people. Let's say one of your goals this year was to lose 50 pounds and you're excited about it. It's now, a few weeks into the new year and they bring you a chocolate cake. I mean, is that really the saboteurs? And so much of the time they are our friends and family, and we know you can't cut everybody out of your life, but you can minimize the time you spend with some people. And so we're just saying, in order to pursue those dreams, and for some of you they are hidden dreams, but they're still there, and you can resurrect those dreams and reach those goals and fulfill that purpose. I mean, we've got to come out of the past. We need to get ourselves around the right people. And Jody and I are talking about it all the time. We keep fighting the wrong battles. We keep thinking it's this outward circumstance. It's this, it's the money, it's this person, it's my lack of willpower, it's this external thing that I'm looking at. And we are here to tell you the battle comes right back to what's right in here. I mean, one of the most transformational books ever was when or not even when Joyce Meyer, wrote the book Battlefield of the Mind. It was like, what? That's where the battle's happening. Not only is the battle here, but that you guys, we have an enemy. I mean, we have an enemy. And so that devil is out to make sure you don't reach your goals, that you stay in this life of inertia. And so we've got to start battling the right battle. That's why Jody and I started the Soul Gym to begin with.
Yet nothing on this planet can stop you from achieving what you want to achieve if you renew your mind to what it is you want. Here is my problem. Here is everyone's problem. There is no lack of maybe desire.
Right.
There's no lack of everyone, I think, deep down, whether they say it or not, they want better for their lives.
Right.
And yet they're sitting there going, why won't it change? And here it is. We talk about the battle of the mind. We talk about that there's an enemy fighting, putting thoughts in our minds, is we do not have the picture of what we want burning enough, clear enough, strong enough on the inside. So we'll set out to create goals. I'm going to lose 50 pounds. And then you start on that path. You get your gym membership, you get your clothes, you get on a meal plan. And the first week, I'm doing it. Week number 2, woo, look at me. I've lost 4 pounds. And then what happens? Something trips us up. We get sick. Your friend bakes you a chocolate cake and you put the 4 pounds back on. And what do you find yourself doing? Going backwards. And here it is. It's life-changing. You, me, we do not have the big want to, big enough, strong enough, clear enough on the inside. The mind, what we're really talking about is that inward picture of who we are. So if you don't have a picture of going, I am going to weigh 140 pounds. I'm going to look this way. I'm going to be able to wear this. I am going to be able to run my marathon. I mean, so clear and so vivid on the inside that you can literally taste it.
Yeah.
It is so clear and so burning on the inside that it's as if it's already happening. And so if that is where we get tripped up, and then these challenges come and we go right back to where we started, is because we've not renewed our mind, we've not changed our mindset long enough and put enough work into the meditation part, getting the picture in front of us, getting it bright and strong and where you can see yourself with it. Once you can close your eyes and you see yourself as fit as you want to be, the money you want to have, the spiritual life you want to have, chances are it's not going to happen.
Right.
So here's the work is taking that goal and getting it in front of you, going over it, in the morning, at night, reading it out loud, putting a picture in front of us and keeping at it. You're going, I can't see it. I just can't see it. I have dealt with my weight all my life. I cannot see it. Keep at it.
Keep at it.
Keep the goal in front of you. Keep saying it. Keep being around the right people. Keep going for it. Keep going. And eventually something will pop up on the inside of you where you begin to see,
Right.
maybe I can do this.
Exactly. So when we're talking about this inertia, it, it says that we're going to stay at rest. We're going to stay in the same place unless acted upon by what you're some kind of force. We have to do something. Faith without works is dead. Wanting and hoping and still sitting on the couch not doing anything. I mean, we have to do something. We got to push. You know, like in push-ups, you have to overcome inertia. I mean, you know, pushing these things away. Jody is famous for her two-finger pull-up. Why? I mean, it certainly didn't start with a two-finger pull-up. It started, you know, fighting through, overcoming inertia. As everything is forcing itself down on you, you overcome that. And guess what? All of a sudden, you start to get some momentum. And so when that momentum starts, oh, look out. That's what you're talking about, Jody. It can feel like you're just not going anywhere, but all of a sudden that spark, and you know, you start getting momentum, and baby, that is hard to stop. And so you got to push, you got to pull. And I love the scripture when we're talking about um, you know, pulling down these strongholds. I think it's found what in Second Corinthians 10, 4 and 5, where it's talking about thinking, but it's saying pull down these strongholds. What are the strongholds? These mindsets, these stories that are just running, that were put in us, I'm sorry, as children. Yeah, there they were. And we
Yep.
thought about them and emotionalized them, and they became a pattern of thinking. You got money stories, you got relationship stories, you got friend stories, you got fitness stories. And so, where life is going good, guess what? You've got some good stories, probably can even be better. Where life is tripping you up, tripping me up, there is an inertia story. There's a story that just has you stuck, not moving forward, not seeing any progress. And for some people, no lie, for some people, it just takes a punch in the face. That's another force. I mean, some people can just push away the darkness. We pull down those strongholds, those old mindsets, and start to take that negative thinking captive. Especially, you got to know the word of God. You can literally replace those old mindsets. And for some people, there are just some personalities that need a punch in the face. You, they're so either stubborn, or it's that same concept of why do some people have to hit rock bottom? They just boom, kerplunk to the bottom.
You know, that cycle, what you're talking about, the person who needs the punch, I'm finding is the person in self-pity.
Oh,
It's normally, I mean, when you're on that cycle and it's just nothing's happening, nothing. If you listen long enough, that person is just in this woe is me. Nothing ever works for me. I can't believe it. And wow, for some reason that person needs to
I know.
wake up. And usually what they need to wake up to is what they do have going on. You know, life is not as bad as you think it is. You are far more capable than what you think you are. You've got a lot of people for you rather than against you. And see, it's that mindset of just focusing on what's not working. And that is insidious. And it happens to all of us.
Right.
Oh, I thought I'd be further along than this. You know, if I could only get married. Oh, if I could only get rid of this spouse. So I think self-pity and lack of gratitude is that cycle where
Oh,
someone needs to punch us right in the face and go, wake up,
I
wake up.
know. Yep. So, are you that person? that needs to be punched. I don't want to be
Yeah.
punched in the face. I hope I'm not that kind, but some people you need a good punch in the face. So in order to get out of inertia, there's got to be some kind of force. So we're saying you got to do something different. I mean, it
Yep.
only makes sense. You've got to do something different. The same thing, the same old mindset is not working. If you're looking at your goals and they're the same as last year and the year before and very little has been accomplished, guess what? You've got to change your mindset. And so that's what we're going to talk about is how do you overcome this life's inertia in whatever area you might be rocking and rolling, in your faith and your family and this and that, but man, your health is just so we all seem to have an area. Isn't that the truth? We all seem to have an area. So we have got to make our future more exciting than the past.
Yep.
How do you do that? Making the future more exciting. Jody, you were saying without a vision,
Yep.
without a clear vision, scripture says the
Mhm.
people perish. I mean, your life is just sad and boring and can be unfulfilling. I recently asked someone what their vision was for their life, and they said they had never had a vision for their life. Oh, that makes me sad. And yet, I can say I have great vision for my life, but I don't know that I've been as clear as I should
Mhm.
be. I think that is where I have missed it. And so we're
Mhm.
talking about, first of all, in order to make your future more exciting, let go of the past, forgive the people once and for all, forgive yourself. Nothing you can do about 42 years ago. Over, done, let it go. It's keeping you stuck in inertia, so let all of that go. Dump your crappy friends. And again, we get it. That is much easier said than done. But how
Yeah.
about seeking out one new person,
Yep.
who is kind of doing what you want to do. So go after a new person. Listen to a different podcast. Keep listening to ours, but find a
Mhm.
new book. Do something that really is a catalyst for new thinking. And Jody, you keep saying it. Decide what you want. What do you
Mhm.
want?
Yeah. Well, I think we touched on it a little bit last week. Get a notebook.
Yes.
Start there and close your eyes and imagine
Mm.
what your ideal life looks like. And I've noticed with me that I will start the goal journey and I will write things down and be very clear and specific, but I run into old attitudes. So the minute I run into something that makes me uncomfortable, yet I know I have to do it in order to get this goal achieved, that's where you've got to stop and go,
Hmm.
okay, why am I feeling this way? For example, I was reading a book by Lou Tice, and here's an example. They were looking for a new house, and they came across this beautiful home, but it had 3 acres of grass, of lawn. And so he says to his wife, we can't get this house. And she's like, well, why not? It's everything we want. He says, I hate mowing the lawn. And so he came up against an old mindset. And I
Hmm.
mean, he hates mowing the lawn. He's like,
Interesting.
no, I cannot mow the lawn. And she said, well, hire someone to do it for you. And he said, hire someone. Can you imagine what my friends would say if I had someone mowing my lawn? This is an example of what we do.
That's good.
Here
Yeah.
we come up and we're right before what we want. Okay, I want this house, but now something's telling me I can't get it because the lawn.
Hmm.
And we're going to come up against is we're going to sit on our journey and we're going and then will run into something and something will go, say, I'm just not cut out for this.
Yep.
See,
Yep.
I wasn't, made for this. And then we're on to the next thing. So if you find yourself and you're going along and you're pursuing your goals, your dreams, and then boop, you're on to something else. And then you'll go and go and go, and then boop, you're on to something else, is because you're coming up to these old
Yep.
negative attitudes, these old attitudes. And how you know is you will try to avoid.
Yeah.
It's just perfect example is, if you ever run into someone you don't much care for, you're at the mall and you see that person, you get real creative of avoiding them. That's exactly what we do when we are, yes, you get real creative, and that is exactly what we do when we don't want to do what needs to be done to get to where we need to be.
Right.
So watch it in your fitness journey. You might be making progress. Things might be happening. Now you've come up against a negative attitude. What is that? And all of a sudden you've stopped, and now you're backward. You're gaining the weight again. You're eating the way you did. You're packing on the pounds again. See, you ran into something that prevented you from continuing to go forward. And the problem is, oh, sweet Jesus, I know probably everyone has that one area. I mean, it's plagued you, it's dogged you for years and years and years. Don't quit.
I know.
See, the talking about is there something that has the monkey on your back that you just can't seem to get rid of. I truly believe if you just keep going, you try again. Well, I've tried to lose that weight 10,000 times. Do it 10,001. Never ever quit. There are things in my life that I thought I'm never going to get victory over this, but I tried again and I tried again, and I'm free from certain things, but there seems to be one, maybe two things where you have just never been able, to get a grip on. Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going. Keep pushing, keep trying. And one day, if you don't quit, you'll win.
That's right. That's right. I mean, it's about those broken promises. I think it was Ed Milet. We listened to a lot of people talk about keeping the promise to yourself.
Yeah.
And so that's why when Jody and I a number of years ago did a big boot camp, and it lasted a number of weeks, and most people finished, but some people quit along the way, and it saddened us so much because we knew, oh no, they broke a promise or another promise to themselves. We were like, come back, come back. And so we implore you, I mean, and for ourselves too, just don't give up. I mean, just okay, I blew it. I'm going to recommit to myself that I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. And so when we're talking about vision, that's like that big picture. That's your big dream. That is how you want, your life to end, what your purpose is. When we're talking about goals, those are those steps, in getting there. And so when we talk about goal setting, you're going to hear us talk a lot about Lou Tice and his book, what, Smart Talk? Is that it, Jody? Yeah. And so he just says, a goal is kind of like a gap. It's a gap between where you are and where you want to be. Really easy way of looking at it. And then that's why he talks about thinking and these four thoughts. It's our thoughts taking us into the future. And so when you write that vision down, write it down. I think I just have not been clear enough. And so if you are vague in your vision, it's going to be hard for it to come to pass. If you're going to be vague in your goals, it's going to be very hard for we need targets. We need to know where we are going, or sure as shooting, we're not going to get there. We're going to just continue to be stuck. And so as we talk about vision and use, you write it out and you make it plain, and then you write out your goals. How many, Jody? How many goals do you think? Or do you can write them in categories. You can, what do you think?
I should write for the different categories: family,
Family
um,
goals?
spiritual, physical, social, intellectual. Be balanced.
Yeah.
Don't just for money goals. Don't just shoot for, I want to be married. I want to be married. So try to keep a balance. And I would say I've heard up to 30.
Oh,
30
wow. Okay.
affirmations.
Okay. And so I was listening, Jody and I are both listening to Terry Savelle Foy. And again, we definitely recommend. She does so much great work on vision, at vision boards, setting goals. And we just listen to her, go to her podcast. I mean, she's simple and just fun to listen to. And
Yeah.
so what one of the things that she said recently is we miss our goals. Sometimes we set this big goal, and she said you've got to have those milestones, up to it. So Jody and I have touched on it before. She's suggesting maybe three mini or milestone goals to getting there. So let's say it's 50 pounds is your goal. But man, when you hit 5 pounds, that's a milestone. And that should be celebrated. Just celebrate that. There's something, Jody, when we talk about emotionalizing, that's what celebrating is. When you emotionalize something, I mean, it attaches to that thinking at that time. The thinking is going in the right direction, and I'm telling you, it's gonna help continue to launch you forward. And so that ideal life, you're seeing yourself already, losing the 50 pounds, but you've got 5, maybe it's 15, maybe it's whatever it is for you until you reach that goal. I think that's another area where I've just not been very clear. And I think I've kind of missed it right there in not setting these milestones. I want to go from here, to here, and big vision. But again, write out your big vision, but progress, you got to have small steps to get there.
And make these goals personal.
Yeah.
I mean, if your spouse is wanting you to lose 50 pounds and you're not, it ain't going to
It
happen.
ain't gonna happen.
It truly has to be something that you desire and not a wish. I know we look around at other people and we compare, our lives to other people. It has to be so intimate and detailed to you. The vagueness comes from thinking, well, I should want that, or,
Yeah.
that looks great over there,
Yeah.
or living outward, thinking, yeah, I want what they have. I want to do what they're doing. There may be things on the inside of you that you absolutely have no desire or had no idea it was even there. I'm hearing of people going, I just, I every time I close my eyes, I think of this, and I don't know why I'm thinking it.
Hmm.
Well, it's one of those goals, one of those dreams that I believe God put on the inside of you that you need to begin to nurture and pursue. Some of them are so obvious, they've been there all of our
Right.
lives. There's certain things, but I think here's an example. Talking about detail, I've probably said it before. I always try to get my people to imagine what it is they're wanting to achieve. Don't tell me you want to lose weight. We know.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you want to get big and buff. I know. But there is a picture on the inside. whether it's I'm going to show up at the wedding and I'm going to, as vain as people, may think that is, and it's not, well, that's not about health. And well, tough. I think a lot of times you appeal to someone's vanity.
Yeah.
The great thing is health just kind of naturally follows that.
Yeah.
But I will tell my people, please, when you close your eyes, there is something on the inside of you that pushes you, that compels you to do the fitness journey. And one girl told me, she said, as strange as it sounds, I see myself walking into Smith's grocery store and I've got a crop top on and I've got my athletic apparel and I'm walking in and I have a 6-pack. And I mean,
Not a 6-pack of Bud, but a 6-pack. But if she's ripped.
And I just went,
It's true.
that's it. She got it.
Yep.
Now to tell another person in the boot camp or in my class, to think that, they'd be going, now why in the world is she? But that is unique to her.
Right.
And we're so detached from who we really are and what we really want because we don't spend a lot of time quiet and contemplating what we want. But for that girl to in detail explain, what it is she sees for her.
Yeah.
See, we all have that. We all, and because it's so vague, that is why we're not achieving.
Right.
But if you get this picture of, okay, I've got this event, or it's going to pop up in you if you allow yourself to just dream. Allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to imagine. And we don't do that either.
I know.
Because we've let ourselves down so many times.
Right.
Set out for these goals and these visions and they don't come to pass, where you give up. You go, right. I'm done trying. But nope, don't give up.
Don't give up. Absolutely do not give up. Listen, life can smack us around and, people can let us down. And yet, guess what? God has never given up. He still has an audacious plan for your life, for our life. And so we are encouraging you to get your life out of that inertia, out of being stuck. And we said it's going to take some kind of force. You've got to push something, pull something. For some of us, it's a punch in the face. There's something has to happen in order. We've got to start thinking different. If we want our lives to change, we have got to start thinking different. And so we are encouraging you with your mental muscle challenge, with whatever it is, start dreaming again. Start dreaming about your life. Jody, we've been bringing it up, and I just don't think people write things down. They get away from us. God will plant something, the Holy Spirit will say something, and then we forget. And so we're challenging you. I'm challenging myself. Like I said, I've written goals, but I don't think they've been clear enough. So that's what I'm doing. I'm really looking at my goals and I'm going to set those milestones. And we are encouraging you to cast and write the vision out for your life and identify some goals and make them clear. And Jody said, make them as personal as you possibly can. And we just are standing and believing with you that this is going to be the best year of your life.
And
amen. So, hey, you guys, we just appreciate it. We love that you are a part of the Soul Gym. We're going to ask you a favor. We're going to ask you to go wherever you are listening to our podcast, and we are asking you to write us a review. So if you are on Apple Podcasts, you go to our homepage, where you go to the app and you click on Soul Gym Sisters, scroll down, you'll see the ratings and reviews, and we are asking for a 5-star review, not a 4, but a 5-star review. And you guys know these Google Analytics, just get your podcast in front of more people when you start getting a lot more reviews. And so, you guys, we're asking for a 5-star review. I'm sure if you're on a different format, it's relatively the same. So, 5-star review. And we want to know that you've done it. If you have given us a review, please reach out, send us a message, in social media, or email us. All of that information will be in the show notes. So, you got it? That's your assignment for this week. Again, we just want to say thank you. Please go to our website, soulgymsisters.com, and we will catch you next week right here at the Soul Gym. Bye.